Hi, I'm Madison Williams here at Keith Christopher Salon in Austin, Texas. Before we get started today, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been doing hair here at the salon for 5 years. I'm the salon's creative director along with lead haircutting instructor. My passion is teaching and I love doing cuts that add something a little different to an ordinary style. Today we're going to play with disconnection. I'm going to be doing a classic bob and then adding disconnected layers on top to give something a little bit piecey that falls below the line. So we're going to start by taking a side parting fairly deep to the side, and we're going to start off with our fringe section. I'm going to take our fringe section from fairly far back on the head as well. From there, I'm going to be taking the horseshoe section. So I'm taking that horseshoe and breaking it apart at the ear. Okay, so what we have here is one major horseshoe section. Within that section, we have 4 subsections. Our first one is the back, which starts at the back of the ear. Our second one is going to be our fringe section, which is from our part line all the way forward. And that leaves us with our 2 side sections. Starting in the center back, underneath our horseshoe, we're going to be doing graduation. We're going to be doing this with vertical sections. And everything will be over-directed to previous. Okay, we're going to cross-check before moving to the other side. We're about to start on the sides. I'm just making sure that she maintains the same moisture throughout. Sides, we're going to continue with our vertical sections. And everything's going to be pulled straight back. All right, so we are going to go ahead and dry this section. Because we're doing disconnection, I'd like to dry this section and detail it before I pull the top down, make sure that this looks perfect. I'm going to go in with KMS Hot Flex Spray as my styler for some shape and heat protection. I'm going to be utilizing a wrap drying technique with a Denman style brush. Wrap drying this entire section and then going in and tension drying. Okay, so going in and point cutting, still with vertical sections, and I'm making sure that my point cut doesn't completely remove my line. This is going to help to soften any weight lines in the haircut. And we're going to go through vertical sections throughout this entire section, still directing backward. I like to detail my shape internally before working on the line. I like to soften that shape completely beforehand. Afterwards, we'll be working on the line and giving her a fun little hairline. This is our side that has not been point cut yet. It still looks quite heavy. We have a weight line. And this is our side that has been point cut. It's a little bit smoother. That weight line has been softened. We're going to be detailing our hairline. I want to give her an asymmetrical point. We're going to create visual connection from this point up and this point up to the other side as well. I'm going to be using the tip of my scissor as opposed to the flat of my blade to create an arcing line. To connect the back to the front, we're going to be doing a square line in the front. We've cut a square line on each side that connects with the back. We have our asymmetrical point in our hairline. In our back section, we're going to be creating pivoting sections. Within those pivoting sections, each one will alternate. The first will be a concave layer, the next will be convex, the next will be concave, the next will be convex. We'll do that through both sides. Our first section, we are going to disconnect, let our graduation completely fall out, and cut a concave layer. Pushing our first section to the side, taking our next. This section we are going to connect to our graduation. Finding our guideline, and we are going to walk this up into a convex layer. We are now going to alternate with every section. So what this has created is some layers that are shorter that are blended in with my cut and some layers that are longer that extend past the line. I'll be able to detail these once it's dry. With each of our side sections, I'll be doing the exact same thing as the back, only with vertical sections instead of pivoting. My first section will be convex, my next will be concave, so on and so forth. Our last section is going to be our fringe. We're going to be creating diagonal sections throughout this section, and everything will be pulled back to our very first. Okay, at this point we're going to be moving on to drying our mannequin. I'm going to be using Hot Flex spray again. I'm using this for shape, hold, and a little bit of heat protection. I'm going to be utilizing a wrap drying technique and tension drying technique again with our Denman style brush. This is going to give a little bit of lift to our root, some mobility, and a nice smooth finish. So to detail the internal shape first, I'm going to be taking horizontal sections, pulling straight up, and you can see the difference in my different layer techniques. And we're going to be doing a little bit of deep point cutting here. That is going to give us some visual blend. So again, horizontal. We're going in here with our point cutting. Not only is it giving us some visual blend, but it's also removing areas of weight. And in the front, taking those same diagonal sections in my fringe and point cutting. We're now going to go through and detail our perimeter. I want to leave some pieces disconnected, but I also want to give a little bit of rhyme and reason. So I'm going to go through and actually do some channel cutting. We'll be removing some of the length in our disconnected pieces and keeping some of the length as well. In the back, we're going to take these pieces right to our perimeter. We're going to be finishing her style with KMS Pliable Texture. Using this product because it builds on itself instead of on the hair, so I can really get a lot of texture without a lot of weight. This is going to show off our disconnected layers. Once we get that worked in, we can really start to move the hair around and expose our layers. What we're going to get here is some pieces that are shorter internally and some pieces that internally fall all the way to our perimeter. So here is our classic bob with a modern twist of alternating disconnected layers. To recap our haircut, we'll start with the section underneath the parietal. With this section, we did graduation and vertical sections. Each section in the back was over-directed to the previous, and the sections on the side were over-directed straight back. We then dried the hair, point cut it, and then we went in and created an asymmetrical hairline. On the sides from that asymmetrical hairline, we created a square line. Within our horseshoe section on top, we started with the back section. Each one of these sections alternated. The first was convex layering, the second was concave, convex, convex, concave. Each one of these was with the traveling guide. On the sides, we did the exact same thing, alternated between concave and convex with the traveling guide. In our fringe section, we created a diagonal cutting line and pulled everything straight back to the first. Both sections were dried with KMS Hot Flex spray and detailed with pliable texture. Once again, this is Madison Williams from Austin, Texas. Thanks for watching.